Realize it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You've absolutely changed my life for the positive, and I just want to thank you. I was 29-year-old beta, living at home with my mom, and just was living in fear and in doubt, and I couldn't hold down a job. And then I found you, and I started listening. I started just being more at peace, and I forgave my mom, and I forgave my father. And it's like right after that, everything just changed in my life, and I was able to get a good job, and I moved out, and I live on my own now, and everything has just changed. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. Thanks for tuning in, folks, on this fine Wednesday. And it's a fine Wednesday to be back with you guys. I got a bit of a show for you. How y'all doing? I see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's welcome the people. You're here watching. Thank you so much. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Did I do the thing? I did do the thing. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. And, of course, the people here on YouTube. How you doing, everybody? It's Wednesday, and we got a couple of things to get into, okay? So appreciate you being here. If you got something on your mind, something you want to speak on, a question you have, a topic you want to bring on, you're welcome to call. That's 888-775-3773. How you doing, all the people? I see you guys saying hello. You're saying hello. You're showing decorum, and I like that. I appreciate that. You're saying, hey, how you doing, Anchor Baby? You suck, Anchor Baby. I'm joking. Show some decorum, Anchor Baby. Bro did the hand rubbing. I'm just repeating what you're saying. But thanks for tuning in. You're saying that's decorum, and I appreciate it. You're saying hello. You're expressing yourself. You're taking the first steps. And the next is clicking the like button. So don't be rude, okay? Don't mess up your training so quickly already. And click the like button. Don't be rude. I mean, we see you here. So what else? 888-775-3773. We're going to get to the coffees and the supporters here. Buymeacoffee.com/Anchor Baby. We're going to get to everybody, okay? Pulling up the show. Pulling up the stuff because I want to get into this. I want to jump into this. This kind of stayed on my mind. From earlier, we were watching the Lee Peterson show, no? We were all watching. And I want to get into this. Okay, this kind of stayed on my mind. I was watching this thing with all of you, right? On JLP, that 12-year-old rapist. What's going on here? You seen this? The teen rapists, the 3 black teenagers, boys, really. They're just boys. Teenagers. 13, 15, yeah. 12. Right on the cusp. Anyways, you may have heard of this story. As it goes, three boys, teens, 12, 13, and 15, are charged as adults in this case of a sexual battery on this 12-year-old girl in Florida, that's rape in Florida, by the way. Sexual battery. You have to do some forceful stuff. I don't even want to describe it, but yeah, sexual battery. I mean, that's rape in Florida. They're being charged as adults, and it's an interesting story, you know. For a number, I mean, it's got these the story, has people. It's interesting. It's almost challenging preconceived notions, maybe, in some ways, because you look at this story and you're like, wow, it's terrible, but also I've kind of been watching film. I've been watching film, and the violence and the sex in the black community, etc. It's just how it goes. These are rapists. Yeah, charge them as adults. There's some quick knee-jerk reaction responses to this, and it's a little interesting. I mean, it may not be exactly what it seems, actually, to be fair. But that's the story. It was a 12-year-old girl in Florida. Miami police say a group of boys took a 12-year-old girl to a community garden, okay? And there was this rape. So let's watch this together. We saw some of it on JLP. And from all first views of this, it seems like, okay, well, these young ones committed a heinous crime, should be what's it called? cut dry, right? It should be clear, no questions. I mean, look at them. They're just, I've seen teens like this before. I mean, it's what they do, you might think.
Police say for a 12-year-old girl in Miami's Overtown neighborhood, this community garden on a June evening became the scene of a horrific crime at the hands of.
So you're 12 years old? You're 13 years old?
Two middle school-aged boys.
You have a grand jury indictment charging.
Now facing serious charges to include kidnapping as adults, accused of a violent act of sexual battery. The 12-year-old victim telling police as she was leaving her friend's house, 13-year-old Nelson Nunez grabbed her, forcing her onto a couch in a community garden. Another boy restrained her, she said, and as 12-year-old Josiah Jones put rocks in her mouth to stop her from screaming. Nunez, she said, raped her. The co-defendants only stopping about 30 minutes later when they heard her father calling out her name. And just minutes ago, we learned from the Miami State Attorney's Office that there is a third co-defendant, a 15-year-old by the name of Xavier Tyson, who is also facing the charges in connection that he has to this incident as an adult. And those include felonies of lewd and lascivious, as well as false imprisonment.
Pretty wild. Anybody know about being charged as an adult? I get this impression it's pretty difficult. I get this impression that the courts, that's one thing. I swear, I see it all the time. Teen, some sort of crime, but just receives, I don't know, juvie or something, right? Because they are being tried as underage. These were quickly tried as adults, quite young. I don't see really any. Only from the family. I don't really see any real decrying of it. Like, these are children. It seemed like that notion held no weight here. That's just my impression, right, from watching the reports on it. Like, they moved past that fast. They're just adults now. So, I've seen stuff like that. I was just wondering out loud, right? Like, how common is that? It seems to me pretty difficult to do. Now, people are posting the reactions of some of the family members. This is allegedly Josiah, the 12-year-old. Allegedly, this is an image of his social media. They shared this image. The person who shared this characterizes it with their own caption. They say, well, Josiah here is flexing. He's flexing on social media. Maybe, It's one of those things, like, I think depends on who you ask, but for certain communities, criminality is, like, kind of tough, right? No matter what it is, maybe. Even if it's like, they're lying on me, or I don't know if this is an admittance of guilt or anything, but just expressing some of the things people have seen. They see the 12-year-old's father and the family like, that's my boy. He didn't do anything. He didn't do nothing. He was the best. I'm adding to it a little bit, but you've seen videos like that, right? You get like some young black teen or something does something. The family comes out, no, he was the best. He didn't mean it. They'll go even further sometimes. This is racism. This is whatever. They'll do anything to, like, defend and protect, because they see it as like a parenting thing, especially black moms, and consider the mom thing beyond the black mother. But it's like, I'm just being a parent. I have to defend my son against the world. They're attacking him. I have to do the best, whatever. They'll even say sometimes, like, the law, whatever. Wherever the law has to do it. But I'm going to try to get it as soft as possible, because that's my son. That's my kid, right? So there's this, like, it's like a known stereotype that these black parents will defend even the worst in their kids. It's like, hey, black parents, black community, do you think that's maybe a little indicative, maybe a little bit behind a lot of the behavior going on if you do nothing but defend and justify them? It's like, oh, they're just boys. But you can make mistakes. You could be wrong. You could commit crimes. You think all that, you think that radical defending of your children is helping them? I don't think so. And so people are familiar with this general stereotype. They're watching the 12-year-old. They're right. 12-year-old father of the 12-year-old rapist. That's how they're writing it on social media. Call me. I don't know, like wanting to. How about guilt? What is it? Innocent till proven guilty, right? He's 12, right? Like, because that's what you're hearing people say. He's 12. He's 12. Okay. How about for the 12-year-old? Innocent till proven guilty. 12-year-old rapist. This is what the 12-year-old rapist father says. That's the captions they write, folks. Father of the 12-year-old rapist. Accused rapist. You want to be a little accurate, but whatever. It's the internet. Whatever. You know the world, how the world is. I'm just showing it to you because some of you all don't believe me. But check out. This is the father.
This is a 12-year-old boy we're talking about. We're going to leave him in jail and put a life charge on a young man, a young black man that was visiting Miami. It was with the wrong two kids.
Marvin Jones's son, Josiah, is charged with battery and false imprisonment, charges related to the rape of a 12-year-old girl. A police report says the victim says his son, Josiah, held her down and put rocks in her mouth to stop her from screaming for help.
This is pretty wild, right? Like rocks in the mouth and all that. That's a claim that comes from the girl, right? The defendant, the one accusing them. So you're right. It sounds pretty bad. They're out here defending him. He's a black man. He's a young black man. You know, you watch this and you start already. You're like, okay, yeah, they're defending wrongdoing. They want to bring in the race card. Yeah, one and done. Throw him in jail. We know what's up. Look. Let me see. Do I have another clip here before we? So there was which one's this one? Hold on. Father of the teens accused a young black man. I think we just saw this. 12-year-old Josiah just encountered the boy. Wait, what's this? Hold on. Oh yeah, this was another moment, and it seems like families are over on the sidelines as they're interviewing this guy. And they're very defensive of the ones being accused.
That's the mother of 12-year-old Josiah Jones screaming at anyone who would listen after today's court hearing as her son faces charges as an adult in a case involving the rape of a 12-year-old girl.
I don't care if they get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years. Guess what? I'm going to always feel like as a mother, as a woman, I'm going to always feel like it's not enough.
The girl's mother's...
I'm always going to feel like it's not enough. As a woman, this is... What's wrong about this is the attack on women. And it doesn't matter the time they get. Doesn't it matter? That does matter. Doesn't that matter in the law and all that? That has to matter to the law, to the judges, right? That matters. That's got to matter to somebody if we care about the system or anything like that. But it gets a little tricky. It gets a little tricky because you hear about rocks and 12-year-old rapists, and it's like, yeah, we got to defend. We got to do the right thing. People have rights and all that, but this one, I don't know about this one. Okay, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm gonna stay quiet. Hold on. As a woman and all that doesn't matter here. What was the crime, right? What was the crime and what's the time?
I always feel like it's not enough.
The girl's mother speaking to Local 10 recently saying she just wants justice for her daughter. According to police, the girl was leaving a friend's home when she encountered the boys near a community garden in Overtown. Investigators allege 13-year-old Nelson Nunez raped her, while 12-year-old Josiah Jones and Xavier Tyson, who was 14.
So we saw all that already. That was just a little moment with the mother on the phone. So I found this somewhat interesting because initially, it was just a story of the JLP, right? And I had these initial thoughts. It's like, well, I don't know. It's the criminality of that community, like Joe Biden says. That element, that community, they have no conscience. They have no. That's like an old Joe Biden. That's like a far older Joe Biden. I mean, younger, far younger. Old as in like back in time. He's like, we have to take back the streets, Joe Biden. And so, right, I had some of these similar like knee-jerk reactions, but there was this detail about being raped for 30 minutes, for example, which was, I don't know, it's just an interesting detail. Okay, sordid. You're like, no, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to consider it, Nick. Look, they're talking about rape. I don't want to question the victim. She was 12. I don't want to do any of that. I get that your sensibilities has you feeling a certain kind of way, but are you familiar with how much men are hated and lied about? Okay? There's this auntie here. This is a 6-minute clip. I'm not playing this. And I think she even cusses maybe once. Let me see. I think it's right at the beginning. Let me try to bring it down. We had a Tourette's show. That was plenty of cussing for the week. For the week. Was that this week? You bit. But she offered. See, they're going on live. It's crazy, right? It's like black families. It's, I don't know, call it crazy, but also the understandable part of it is like the family thing, the radical in-group family like protection thing. There may be something to gather for that, but that's a side note. She comes on Facebook Live. This is apparently the auntie of one of the boys, and she's giving all these details like, no, it's not how it is, not how you say. That girl, she's alleging this. She's alleging that girl, very familiar with the boys and was acting very, very sexual that day. This is her allegations, and that this girl was was being very, very forward about having sex with one of the boys, one of the accused, and she gives her details, and then she gives her opinion about what happened, that they were doing halfway consensual things. And that someone, because this is like a community garden, you saw some pictures of it, was coming down from the building, and the way the building is set up, that they were just able to see what happened, and it turned into police. It turned into accusations. The rocks in the mouth. I got raped. It gets a little weird, right? It gets a little gray area. It gets a little for if you're like. Thinking about it a little bit, unless you're just like, that's a victim. I don't even want to question it at all. I don't know if you're familiar with how sexually active young black people are. They're like I don't know if you've seen this. They're quite sexually active, quite young, and they act like their drama becomes very adult in a way. They start getting into all sorts of, the drama you get into when you got a little older, start having girlfriends or maybe even crazier things, cheating or who knows. I love her. No, I love her. You start having sex. You start having these, like, I say adult with a quote unquote, right? Because lack of emotional control is not adult or anything like that, right? But they get into this like dramatic, almost adult world far too soon. It's if you're familiar with some of these areas and how they grow up, okay? In fact, I remember, I'll never forget, in fact, was it my first kiss? I think it was my first, I can't remember now. First kiss, it was really first kisses. I was a young little anchor baby. I must have been 13 or something. These two very tall, beautiful black girls, older than me, a few years older than me. Two. Took the defenseless little anchor baby to a secluded area of the apartment building that we walked home to. Right, we live nearby. And look, they planted it. I'm talking about kissing, okay? they planted it on the anchor baby. I'm just like, I'm being. This is sexual battery, but I didn't go to the cops. Okay, I wasn't really mad about it, and that's not me saying that that's okay, but hey, that's the sexual aggressiveness of the of those girls. Okay, and I won't say your name. I'm gonna say your first name. I'll never. No, I won't even say. I wanted to say her name because it's like a very foreign name. You guys would laugh, but it's not. It's. Let's not even do that. I'll never forget you. But anyways, that's just a side note. That's just a side story. You know, the sexual. You guys. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. About the sexual. How they get into sex pretty young, and when you start doing that, and you get into that world, things get tricky. You start. You're doing things. You're hiding things. What if it's somewhat true what this auntie was saying, that this girl was trying something and maybe it turned into something else, or maybe it's not at all what she claims it to be. I don't really know, but I did want to speak on it because it's like, are you familiar with how much men are hated? Do you even get that? 30 minutes? But I'll get off of that because I don't have any more details than you, so I'll get off of that. But I do question. It's fine to have questions. There's this, and I'm going to get to calls right after this. I appreciate you holding 888-775-3773 calls right after this, because there's a far more like a higher, I don't know if it's far more, but maybe just because they're rich. I don't even know why I said that. But look, there's like a higher profile case, maybe a rape trial allegations. In fact, it has to do. They're accusing these guys. They're giving them the Diddy Epstein business, sexual trafficking. Sex trafficking? They're being accused of conspiracy to commit sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and other related counts such as minor sexual exploitation. And that's not minor as in like underage, as in like not major, I guess. I don't know the law like that. I don't know what counts as minor sexual versus major. I don't know if that's what you call it, major or just basic sexual exploitation. You may have heard of this. If you like this kind of news, I open a Daily Mail every day. So, Daily Mail loves this kind of stuff. Week 4 of the Alexander brothers sex trafficking trial. I don't know. I didn't hear about the Alexander brothers before. I don't know about them. But I've come to learn a little bit about these 3 brothers, the Alexander twins, Orrin and Alan Alexander, and their older brother, they're 38 to 39, and their older brother, Tal Alexander. They are prominent in the Florida, New York luxury real estate, rich, connected, I think, dad, and and it's like, it's in the family. We're selling real estate. We're playboys. We're on the yachts. We got the money. We're the guys, okay? We're the guys. Okay, I don't know much about them, but and then so that's just the view you get of them. These guys are like luxury real estate. They were arrested by the FBI in Miami Beach. This is 2024, but as they're having their trial, right? The 4th week drew to a close at the beginning of this week. In 2024, they were arrested by the FBI under these charges of conspiracy to commit sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, etc. And prosecutors start painting this picture of these guys that use their wealth, status, and their connections to coerce and promises of promises, right? Stuff, luxuries, to coerce women and to allegedly drugging them and coercing them into sexual acts that they didn't want, and all that. And they start painting this picture of these guys that don't care about women. They frequent, or at one time frequented, online forums, like red pill type almost, online forums that were misogynist forums that, spoke about how to sleep with as many women as possible and stuff like that. They start painting this picture. These guys, they would share memes. It's not rape if, etc. And they're painting this picture. These guys who clearly they don't care about women. They're using their connections, coercing them. These are victims that are afraid to come forward. They're coming, of course, years later, but that's the story. And I don't know these guys. I don't know them like that. But I'm with you guys. We're being fed the news. We're supposed to be banging the tables. What's up with this misogyny? You could just do anything to women. And I'm like, wait, I don't think that's entirely true. Like, apparently this all comes out because it starts off with this one woman, Kate Whiteman. So March 2024, she comes out. She's like the first domino, and that's how these things go. These high profile, like, we have some familiarity with it now. There's almost like a meta, so to speak. Diddy, Epstein. Okay, now the prosecutors know how do we successfully do this stuff. But that's just a side note. There's almost a meta. So Kate Whiteman comes out March 2024. She's like, in 2012, years ago, I was raped. I was raped by this Oren, one of the twins. And then that opened up like other people coming forward. They came forward. They're suing them. They got different lawsuits. The wave builds, and then the FBI comes out. Okay. Now where was I with this? You start I was gonna, but let me see. Should I pull this up? Because this is the part of the segment where I was going to maybe even read one of these vile, try and be as clean as possible accounts. Not because I want you to hear nasty things, but just make your own decision on this. Let me see if I can do this. Let me read this again. Make your own decision on this. Like, you read the headlines, okay, rapists, and these are pretty terrible claims. But then... And they're following blogs and sharing memes about it's not rape if XYZ. Yeah, these guys are whatever one might want to say. Let me see. Yeah, so I mean, like, let me see if I can just clean it up. I mean, one girl's like on a boat. She's partying, drinking, doing drugs with them. Sleeps in the bed with them, wakes up, is like doing stuff with one of them. He puts, let's move on. Look, they're doing pretty sexual things. And then like it stops, and then he tries to take it further. And they do. And then she says after, I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want you to do that part. Like, is that rape? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, maybe there's some criminality. And maybe I wasn't even thinking about that situation. But the criminality has to be dealt with right then, right? If he was on this warpath of abusing all these women, you could have stopped it right then. In some of these accounts, I think, I don't even have to read it, but look, in some of these accounts, I could even think, you know what, that's maybe I think maybe a crime happened there, maybe. It should have been investigated and dealt with back then. You would have found out if it really was. But it seems like maybe a crime happened. Maybe not rape, but maybe some kind of crime happened. Now you have nothing. You could have like stopped it for what it was then. Now they're coming out saying it's sex trafficking and all this stuff. And you read the accounts, and the girls are willingly like getting high and doing all these stuff, all these things. And people want to say you can't speak on those things. In fact, governments are saying that. Governments are saying you literally can't be bringing these things up in court. Okay? let me pull this up. There's laws about this. They call them rape shield laws. Essentially, the victim's past, previous actions that would put her in a bad character light are not allowed in court. In some countries, they're trying to do that in America. In Scotland, for example, judges have restricted evidence. They literally restrict evidence in a court case, and they're accusing people. They're telling them, you are this, and we're going to put you in jail and give you this penalty. Okay, how do you defend yourself? Well, let me bring up this evidence. I mean, you know, we were kissing. She was all over me. No, you can't bring that up. That's under the rape shield laws. That's restricted evidence. That's restricted evidence. There was this individual, 2025, is it Andrew Keir? I remember this story. It went around. The court found in the UK Supreme Court with this Andrew Keir, who was let me read this. The court found that, let me see, a key development in the 2025 UK Supreme Court ruling in the linked cases of Daly versus Keir. The court found that Scotland's current approach to admitting evidence in sexual offense trials risks breaching fair trial rights. So even the UK is like, yo, Scotland, that's a little unfair, and ordered Scottish courts to modify their practices. However, it dismissed the specific appeals of the accused, ruling that both men received fair trials. In Keir's case, CCTV footage showed prior consensual sexual contact between him and the complainant, which prosecutors edited out. And they left it out. And it was not allowed to be used to prove this guy's innocence. I know this is like, why would you talk about this? Like unfair rape trials, Nick? That's really your show here. You want to stick out here for unfair rape? You think rape cases are getting unfair trials? That's what you really care about? Whatever apparition, you don't care about fair trials. And men, you hate men. Apparition that I'm speaking with. Canada has similar pretrial restrictions on sexual history evidence. And all that. So yeah, there's definitely unfair trials on that, because you just gotta believe women and all that. So what do you guys talk about? Look, that was the whole thing with all that. Okay, I'm a survivor. I'm a victim. I'm a survivor victim. Okay, I was a little anchor baby. They were tall. They were tall and older than me. Okay? I'm a survivor, Nancy Mace. Okay? I can tell you what to do. Okay, now we're off the deep end. Folks, I appreciate it. Let's get to calls. 888-775-3773. I got other things for you. Your super chats and all that. What do you think? Think about the power dynamic Nit was under. Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that. But anyways, I want to get to Maze out of Dayton, Ohio. How you doing, Maze? Nice to hear from you.
Hello, Nick.
Appreciate the
patience. I have a question for you.
Of course.
Well, your little article that you was doing in the beginning, you're not Jesse, first of all.
Okay.
Jesse grew up in a black community.
My bad.
And he do not represent every person in the black community. And what community that's black that you lived in?
You don't know the anchor baby.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you don't. People, they know the anchor
you
baby.
To say those kids that you just showed represents the black community? No, they don't. They're just black, happen to be black. Because the Trump and Epstein and all of those people that were messing with little girls, they represent who?
Well, I don't remember saying that. Did I say that? That those boys represent the black community? I said they're maybe indicative to some parts of it.
Well, there might be
if
some
I
parts
said
of
that,
it.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, well, that's what you said.
But put it like this.
I'm correcting you on this.
Well, here's what I meant. I think I explained this, or at least attempted to. And tell me if you disagree. Isn't it true that that young black people, especially in certain areas, get into sex early?
Don't the Hispanic do too?
That may be true, but right now in this case, I'm talking about black people. What's the
No,
Hispanics
that's right.
gonna
You're
do?
talking about black people, but you are not black to talk about black people because of
Why
the little.
are you talking about Hispanics?
Honey?
Why are you talking
What?
about Hispanics? I
I'm
thought you were
asking
black.
because you won.
I
So
thought you were black. Why
I
did you
cannot
bring up
speak for you.
Hispanics?
And it's like when Rick come on with the
Wait, Maze, wait, hold on. But you committed a grave sin. Why are you speaking about Hispanics? You're not Hispanic.
I'm not Hispanic, but I know some. Just like you say, you know black people.
Oh, okay. All of a sudden, but you know something. You could say something. Maybe I know some too.
No.
Maybe
You
I
just
know
a
some too.
community.
You don't know how I grew up.
Have you lived in every community that's black?
What'd you say?
Have you lived in every community that's black, or have you been around people from every community?
I've been around.
From the
I'm a
good to the bad.
globalist. I'm a global anchor baby. I'm rootless and
Okay.
have cultural. I've been culturally enriched. I gotta say.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or
You don't act
traumatized.
like it.
But tell me
But
what
I say
did I
you're
say
not-
that was wrong? What did I say that was wrong though?
I said, you're not Jesse. Jesse can talk about the black people until he turns white in the face. We don't care. But when it comes to people that don't have no clue about the community and want to always show crimes on the community, we're not criminals. But you only want to call criminal. But when it comes to the CWPs and you got the president sitting up there, maybe those boys had the same lawyers and stuff to keep it from coming to court. We'd be saying the same thing, wouldn't we?
I was kind of defending Maze. Were you even listening to me?
Yes, I was listening to you. I heard exactly what you said.
I was like, I was even. No, you weren't
when you-
listening. You
you
were
know,
not
those
listening
kids-
to me, Maze.
Those kids
and that
committed
makes
the
me
crime.
sad. You don't even. You're sitting there in the show just waiting to.
No,
You're
what I'm
not
trying
even
to tell
hearing
you-
me. I was
what I'm
saying,
trying to tell
hey.
you-
I was saying,
Let me
hey.
tell you, when you see the black community committing a crime, you don't see the black community. You see some kids committing crime. So these kids committed crime in the crime.
What are
so
you saying,
don't
Maze?
pick
You're
people.
saying yes. I do see black people committing
Didn't say
crimes.
it that
Let's
way.
move on from that. Yeah, we can move on from that one. Yes,
We can.
I see black
So
people
now,
committing crimes.
what I want to get to now, you want to be so afraid of black people, but what we just seen, these bombers and stuff, what America's going to be looking out for now?
I want to get to that, but Maze, you missed it. You didn't hear. You weren't even hearing me. I was saying, your knee-jerk reaction wants you to say, "Yep, black, young, sexually active, criminal element, bad parents. Yeah, those are rapists." And I was saying, hey, I was telling the public, hey, chill out for a second. Actually, it may not be what it seems. You weren't even listening to me.
Yeah, right. I bet you did.
She doesn't even believe me, Chad.
I didn't
when she
hear that
backs it
part.
up, which she won't.
I didn't hear
but when
that.
she backs it up, if she backed up the stream and watch the coverage one more time, she would feel real silly.
Well, play it again so if I missed it. And if I'm wrong, I will apologize, but
No
that's
problem.
not where you coming from.
But it is. So what's wrong though? What was said that was wrong? What's the big deal?
As you say, when you come up with your little skits and all of this stuff we see on the news every day, that's what's wrong with your brain. You just only look at black people as being criminals and
Well,
everybody
let's
else.
break it down one by one. You said you're bringing up all these false stories every day. This little whatever. Let's
I didn't say
start. Let's
false
start.
stories.
Let's start
I
with
said
the
the
news.
media
Let's start with
brings
the
you
videos. Let's start with the news I played of those three. Is that did
Say
I
that
make
part
that
where
up?
you-
Did I
don't
make
play
that
the part
up?
where you
Is
said
that
what you say you said.
let's start with the three. Let's start with the video of the news that I played. Did I make that up?
No, you didn't. But you put the black community in it. When you put the black community, you were talking about the whole
Yeah, because
community.
I was trying to help people
Those boys that
understand.
just-
I was trying to
whatever
help
they
people
did-
understand. They
whatever
want to
they
say
did-
these are just psycho black boys. That's how these black men
You said-
boys are. They're just savage. They'll just rape anybody. That's what they want to say. And I'm telling them, hey,
Well, then you
no,
got a-
no,
you got
black
somebody
people
sitting in
get
the White
sexually
House,
active younger, and so they get into mess younger.
You got
Don't
somebody
judge them
running
so
the
hard.
country that has the same thing against him that's against those boys, but you're not saying that because you're afraid.
Wait, what?
And he's saying with the law, I run in the court to keep them coming out so we can see everybody's faces and all of this stuff. Those girls are still out there too. So what do you say about that group of people?
Which group? I missed. What I couldn't. make it.
Epstein girls and Trump girls.
And what about them?
You have to say about those. You don't sit up and say, well, the white community.
So what's the news story? What's going on with those Trump girls?
He's
What do you-
going to mess with young
Well,
girls.
I didn't know they were in the news. No way. What's going on? What's the
It's
the
about
headline?
the news. Okay, Nick.
What's the
play-
headline?
play-
I'll
play
type it in
more.
right now. What's the Trump girls headline? I'm down. Let's talk about it. What
Okay, you
what
wanna
they
talk
do in the
about it?
news?
No, because they can't even get their day in court.
There's no news, no headline. Oh, maybe that's why
They
I'm not
can't get
talking
their
about
day in
it.
court. But that's not what I'm saying. America
So
is
there's
gonna
no
be
headline I can type in. What's the story you're talking about? Trump girls. What are you talking
Epstein
about?
girls that can't get to court.
Epstein girls. What?
Yes, they can't get to court.
Oh, okay. What's that
But what
about?
happened to them when they were young?
Wait, what?
So now you play the game. I play it with
Which
you. But as I was
Epstein?
saying,
Which so-called Epstein victim has not gone to court and has not gone to the police? Tell me.
not only Epstein victims, if y'all trying to put, he's dead.
Right,
So
but
he
which
wasn't
one
doing
you're
it by
saying?
himself.
Which? Help me understand.
All you
which
wanted to
which
show us was,
victim? Which of
all
these
we saw-
Epstein girls have not gone to the court or the police? Tell me.
They have been to the police, but
Right.
the papers
A lot.
They're throwing the papers away and tearing them up, and you can't see them.
Well, now you're saying something else. If that's what
Oh
you
no,
want to change it to.
that's all in there together. But I'm not talking about Epstein.
Okay,
I'm saying
cool.
how you and the people that think like you and Rick thinking that they got to run from people in the black community. But no, you're not gonna be running from the people in the black community because that country that y'all just went over there, all happy about. Those people are very upset. Americans stuck over there, and if people that wasn't so bright, they would have got the people at the embassies and all this. They just went in there and did what they wanted to do. Forget about the American people that's over there, and they trying to get home. I don't hear y'all talking about that. That's not the point. You want to hear the one that think that's sticking his chest out. You know, sometimes when you stick your chest out and you're doing dirty deeds and dirty stuff, and using up all your bombs and rockets and stuff. And what if that people that you happen turn on you? What you got to use?
So
what do you have to use if they turn on you? That's what I'm wondering. Can you tell me?
Wait, what were you wondering?
This is America First, and maybe you can help me out.
So what was I saying that was wrong?
When you get shot of your ammunition and you don't have anymore, what power do you have?
So what was I saying that was wrong?
Hmm.
So what was I saying that was wrong? You know what you initially called about? Because, you know, so you went on.
Oh, you were talking about the black community.
And the people in America, the Americans in
It don't
Iran.
matter
Now it's
about
like,
it.
well,
You
hold
said
on,
on the
Maze.
news
Okay,
about those little black
you went
boys
off a bit. Now
did a
let's go
crime.
back.
Yes, they cleared a little crime, but they
What
don't
was
represent.
wrong? What has been said? You said you playing your little things and you and Rick and da-da.
Yeah, I say Rick.
Here's your
he come
floor.
in,
Name one thing.
One
thing that was wrong. One thing that was untrue. One thing that was wrong.
I just told
Go
you
ahead.
when you said the black community and black boys. Just
what
like
did I
even
say?
the news, they come in with all this.
What
all
did I
this crap.
say? What did I say about them?
What did you
That
say?
was
The same
wrong.
thing they say. You just
No,
repeat
tell me
you
what
said.
I said today that was wrong.
The black boys in the black community.
What did I say about the black
community
boys
are
in the
not
black
committing
community?
crimes.
What did I say about the black boys in the black community?
I tell you, listen to yourself. Replay it.
No,
I said,
I'm
if I was
asking
wrong about what I
you.
said,
I'm asking. I want to
apologize.
understand you.
Say
You
it,
said
and so I
I'm
can hear
saying
it.
wrong things, and I want to know.
So as I said, you are not Jesse.
No, Maze.
Can't
What,
get away with what he-
what did
what
I
he
say
is.
about the black
I want
boys
you
that
to know
was
that.
wrong?
We always talking about the black community.
No. What did I say about the black boys today that was wrong?
You said the black boys in the community.
What did I
They
say
don't
about the black
represent-
boys
those
in
four
the
boys
community?
you're looking at, they represent what they did. They
What
don't
did I
represent
say about the
community.
black boys
They
in the
just happen to be
community?
black.
What did I say?
What did you say?
Yeah, about
You
the
don't
black
remember
boys
what
in
you
the
said?
community.
Oh, you lying, so you don't even. People that tell lies can't remember what they say anyway.
Wow. Maze really doesn't listen.
Okay, I'm not listening. I told you to replay it, and if I was wrong, I will apologize.
No, that's fine. I
Now, do
appreciate
you
it.
have that strength to do that?
Well, how about you watch it
Now,
again and let me know what I
I
said
say-
about the black boys in the community that was wrong.
What?
How about you watch it again and call me back and tell me what I said about the
Oh, I
black
will
boys in the
tomorrow. I'll
community
listen
wrong?
to it again.
Very nice.
And if I was wrong, I will apologize.
And
but
I
I'm
want to
not-
know what I said about the black boys in the
And I asked
community
you what
that
was
was
the
wrong.
point.
I want to know. I do want to know.
You said what you said. The people in the black community, and this and that about the
I
black
mean, I
community.
said different
Like,
things.
that's
I
why
said
asked
different.
you,
I
have
said
you
a number
ever
of
lived
things,
with the black
and I want to know
community?
if I'm wrong about any of them.
Oh,
I
yes,
said
you're wrong.
I said, but which
You're
one?
wrong when you say the community.
Maybe.
Because you have a person sitting in the White House that's a felon and everything else. And what do you think about that community, about him being sitting up there? Is he
I love
representing who? Those little black boys that did that, they need to go to jail.
I
But
love
they
it.
don't
He's not a criminal.
represent it, like you see in your eyesight.
Thanks, Maze.
So that's the way I see it. And then I said, America is not going to be afraid of the black man. They're going to be afraid of what we just saw. And they can't even, and those that can't get home, I don't know why y'all not having no conversation about it. They didn't matter. Bright people were so smart. If they were smart enough, they would have got those people out of there before they went and did what they did. But no, they were so busy trying to do some devilish and evil stuff that they didn't have time to take care of those people. And then you got military people dying for what?
Well,
So do
Maze,
you think their family's going to be happy about what's happening to them? No.
I
so you have a
appreciate you
good one.
throwing in your 2 cents about
So why don't you show the
foreign
dead-
policy.
Why don't you show the first 3 dead people that died?
What?
And then why don't you show the first 3 people that died over there?
Oh, in Iran? In Iran?
Right. Yes.
Well, 4. We're not even talking about that. You're just going
No,
somewhere else. We're talking about black people
Sam,
and
what-
what you
what?
didn't watch, and that you didn't watch my segment, and you just called in berate me.
Just
You
like
didn't
you
watch
showed
it.
those
So
four-
you're gonna
just
watch
like
it again, and you're gonna tell me what I
just
said
like-
wrong, and
Just
it's gonna
like
be
you showed
amazing.
Those 4
I love
boys,
you,
show
Maze.
those 3 black people that died, the first 3 to die from something stupid. They had no reason to even be happening. and then y'all want to go.
Those are soldiers, Maze. Those were soldiers.
Yeah, they were soldiers.
Yeah.
They're in the black community, so what you have to say about them?
You don't know they didn't want to do that. You don't know they
soldiers
didn't want to do that. You don't know they didn't want to do
only
that.
those
Those are proud
then you have
soldiers. You don't know they didn't want to
And
do
then they had
that.
4 white ones die too.
You didn't know that?
Yes, I did.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. But now y'all so busy trying to clean up for lie and to make it look good. We know the truth.
How do you know? You don't even watch my show.
Well,
You didn't even know. You actually wouldn't even know. You would not know, Maze. Watch my coverage.
Your show every day.
Call me again.
Yeah, I will call you again, but think about what you're doing. And have a good one.
I'm going to think about it. I appreciate it, Maze. 888-775-3773. Okay, maybe I'm like, maybe it's not what you guys think. Okay, like, regime change. Let's go, right? Maybe I did a little bit of that, but I'm like, I don't really know. Iran's far away, you know. But she wouldn't know. She wouldn't know. She's assuming. She's assuming. You know, I had this here. I meant to get. I mean, it was kind of thematic. I mean, it kind of fit the earlier stuff. You know, the defending unfair rape trials. You know, very important stuff. It is mainly because it's like a hatred of men thing. And what about reality? You don't care about reality? Like, hey, this thing is what this is. You know, the law is this way. We all agree. You get punished for this. There's evidence and stuff. You don't care about reality. Women don't. They go on. That's why they're in these institutions, and they're all crazy. The institutions are crazy because the feminist mind does not care about reality. Doesn't care about material consequences, resources, mathematics. You're gonna need those when you want to feed all those tummies. But you don't even care about that. So there was this. I had come across this as I was putting stuff together. And look, this looks like some Gen Z artist. I've never heard of her. Pinky. Okay? And she makes music to kick boys to. Kick boys to my music. Let's go. And honestly, normally it wouldn't even be a thing. Like, whatever, right? But, you know, they're sharing this footage around. And, you know, there's the guys. The guys are not just, they're kicking, right, she's out there making music to kick boys to, and the girls are maybe loving her. They're like, I like her. She's, you know, I agree with her or whatever. And you're watching this. You are disturbed. Maybe you're older. Maybe you're a boomer. You're like, it's over. Like, they want to kick boys. They hate them. But then you watch the footage, right? And it's like, what are the boys doing? How are the boys handling this? I guess this is her music. I don't know. It's got like this like funk style and like whispering. Like I'm a kitten. I'm a very sexual. Right, like. Okay, whatever. They're kicking the boys. The boys love it though. They're like, step on me, please. They're like, kick me, mommy, kick queen. You know, they'll say these things. It's terrible. They'll say these things. They're like, kick. Look at them, getting kicked. So pathetic, right? And you watch this and you think to yourself, but of course, men. It's men's fault. Look at what men are allowing, what they caused, what they're justifying. The hell gets worse in the woman. You're supposed to lead her out of it. I see you. Look, he's in a dress or something. I see you now. I see you guys now. You're like, see, this is what's wrong. Men, they're allowing this and all that. I think it's a little inaccurate. You know, human nature. What you're seeing is like human nature. You're saying human nature. Like, what you could say, yeah, well, the guys allowing themselves to be kicked and they're causing this. Okay, help me understand what's making her like it. What's making her enjoy it, like it, Just the boys, right? Just the guys allowing it, pushing them on. No, but that's far too shallow. That's far too one-dimensional. No. She is a willing participant because this is like an extreme of female nature, male nature, what's going on spiritually with men and women. Women get a kick out of it. It's an absolute kick. It's you know what is basic and one-dimensional? The thrills. How the demon inside of you. It's for the thrill. It's for the kick. It's very exciting. It's very exciting for all types of women, all ages, and different walks of life to get excited at hurting the man, okay? And it doesn't have to be stepping. It doesn't have to be like this. They all get a kick out of controlling and hurting the man, okay? It's the fallen state. You're right, Tactical Brucey. It's almost like it's hard to even help. They can't even help it in a sense. It's like a knee-jerk reaction that you have to have space with and repent of. But that's hers, and that's her thrill, and that's his thrill, getting being able to throw away the duty, the responsibility, so to speak, of being a man. This is way easier and thrilling and fun. Calling people mommy. You got mommy issues. You can't. Women rule you. You take it really far, maybe. It becomes sexual. You're out here wearing dresses. You're at this thing. But that's the kick. That's the thrill of the man there. It's like, I don't have to be responsible. I could be a boy. I don't have to be a man. This is easier. False love. Both ways. But that's her evil. You understand? What explains her desire to do this? That's the nature of the woman. All across the board. They get a kick. They get a kick out of controlling and hurting the man. You understand? And that's her thing, you know. But anyways, like, this is whatever. It was here in my packet, okay? We're running it down. Past me thought it was interesting, and I sometimes remember live on air why Past me did it. I'm like, wow, you know what? Past me, that was kind of interesting. Thank you. But yeah, Nit, have you been to what? Have you ever been to a? Oh, Pink does that. Pink, the singer. What does she do? What's her song? What's Pink do? I forget Pink. Come on. What's the song? Like, good girls don't cry, big girls don't cry, right? You're saying, are you not even talking about her? Are we slandering Pink? Let me stop. Let me move on, okay? Yeah. Let's see here. 888-775-3773. What a mess. He said knee. You guys talk about the community. Can you speak on that, though, Nick? Look, I do apologize. I'm a stone's throw. I'm a stone's throw from the community, right? Like Jesus. You hang out with, you're in it but out of it. Hanging out with the pimps, the hoes, the lepers. There's no lepers anymore, I don't think. Okay, I'm a stone's throw away. One thing about hoes, can I say that? Something that teaches, a lesson that you're taught. Going back, in fact, it fits, and I think I meant to say this alongside this. I kick boys to this music stuff. A lesson for the youngins, maybe a lesson to learn, because you're dazzled. You're goo goo gaga over an e-girl, or she's just dressed a certain way, and she's just so pretty, she's so hot. You're goo goo gaga, and I'm talking about, particular, women that really flaunt it. Like, they really flaunt it. They know what they're doing. They got it on, and you got to start being able to, like, see this, that their express purpose is to, like, get this attention from men. But you got to understand, that it's not innocent. This is a if the evil of the man, if the worst, I'll call it, if like the worst case scenario, maybe not worst case scenario. Let me paint the picture. If for the man, the worst view, the worst characterization of the man's sexual proclivities and his nature is to cheat and lie to women, try and get him in bed and then throw him away. If it's to use them and the furthest rape them and all that. If that's the like image of like pure evil man, the vixen, the one trying to get sexual attention, the halfway stripper, they have learned. Here's what happens with, if you know girls like this, they become quite resentful of men, and they use their attraction. It's a thing they use, and they become quite resentful. I think like the most extreme characterization of what I'm going for is like Cardi B drugging men, and like, yeah, laughing at the bank, like, yeah, I'm a stripper, I use these men. When you get a girl that's maybe not even a stripper or doing any sex work, but loves doing all that, using men's attraction, she thinks they're dumb, I'm using them and all that. That's a stone's throw away from like a prostitute who. Understand what I'm saying here? Like spiritually, they have learned the tricks of the trade, like as if they were in that world, a prostitute, etc. How to fool men, lie to them, use them, hate them, I resent them, get money from them. They've gone through the same school of hard knocks in a sense, and learned the tricks of the trade. Like it's a big red flag. That's what I'm trying to tell you, youngins. Okay, it's a red flag. So anyways, something you learn about. You're right. They see the other gender as an asset or tool, right? If the man version is what I described, this is the female version, right? It's not innocent, but you guys get it. Be careful. Shout out to those ladies in that world. I mean, you can't get mad. Are you gonna blame a brother or a hoe? Are you gonna get mad at them doing what a brother and a hoe does? You know what I'm saying? Like, moving on. Appreciate your calls. 888-775-3773. I want to get to you guys. Have you guys seen this First Amendment auditor business? What's going on? It's really grinding my gears, and obviously I have fallen victim to being content farmed. I can accept that. We're going to do this together in a moment, but first I want to get to Art out of Ohio. How you doing, Art? Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
What's up, sir?
Nothing, chilling. So check this out. So what you were saying about old girl or whatnot, I get what you're saying. At first, I wasn't getting what you're saying as far as what you were saying, as far as like saying that she was like, it's a form of prostitution, basically.
What? Okay. Women that are very aware of how to use men's attraction for their gain, even if they're not, even if they haven't done sex work, a lot of unexperienced guys, they'll think that's just a normal girl, but that's actually a really dangerous girl. It's like a prostitute who's just going to use you.
You saying from the energy putting off to the music, the dancing.
They have the same view of men that a prostitute would have.
How they had the same view of the way that, yeah. Go ahead. So go ahead.
That's all I was saying, to make that clear.
But
I'm not succinct. It's my problem.
Well, hold up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to drive the nail home on this one, to where like this is gonna solidify what you saying or whatnot. Yeah, it is, because what a prostitute does is she try to sell herself, and what this girl is doing when she's performing on stage is she's trying to sell herself. You see what I'm saying?
Bingo.
And a lot of people like Mark, and you can say Mark is sell. We all basically sell ourselves. It's just how you sell yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Meaning,
yeah, bingo.
Yeah, meaning that you could be trying to sell yourself because you could be agreeing with what I'm saying, or somebody could be calling in here saying whatever they saying, selling themselves to you, so they be impressionable to make Nick like them. You see what I'm saying? But what you were saying about old girl, I definitely agree that that's exactly what she's doing. It's propaganda because it's drawing home the narrative, beat the man down. It's cool to kick men. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Bingo. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. And it's like so a little thing to like watch out for in a sense. Like, you know, it's like really, especially now, he's super popular to just be really young and have all the, I don't know, all the Kardashian stuff, the makeup, and really that whole world is, it's like an industry. It's like, and yeah, men are dumb. I just showed you videos of them out there just happily getting stepped on by these people. But that's what that whole industry is. It's like, how do we extract money out of these dumb men that are lusting over women?
Yeah. So check this out. What is the saying? How the saying go? If you give a woman 3 inches, she'll take
a mile, right?
I mean, yeah, that's the old school. That's the old school one. So you right on that one. But no, it's if you give a girl 3 inches, she gonna ask for 6 more.
I can't say it, Art, but I appreciate your call. I have an answer for you fellas. I have an answer for you guys, but I can't do it. I gotta leave you guys hanging. I I literally have an answer for you guys, but there is a solution for you, but I cannot help you. I can't help you. Sorry.
So Nick, did you what did you do to Mark or what? Now he was on your noggin earlier on the Hake show.
Oh, I heard some of that, but I was trying to get ready for my stuff, and it almost like I was like, wait, what are they saying? And I'm like, whatever. What am I doing? And someone even super chatted me about it.
Yeah. Oh, nah.
I'll tell you. Look, I don't freaking get it, man. Look, did I interrupt the guy a bit? Yeah, fine. Maybe I interrupted the guy a bit, but upon my interrupting, he's like freaking out. He's yelling at me and saying this and that. Oh, hold on, folks, because everybody in the chat's like, yeah, Nick, I don't know. Look, folks, what the heck do you think I'm supposed to do? Just sit here and have him yell at me? Just sit here, just yell at me. It's the Mark Show. That's what you guys say all the time. It's the Mark Show. It's the Mark Show. It's not. Okay?
But check this out. It sounds, but it's crazy though. Just listening to what he was saying or whatnot, because I was like, man, you always let me talk or whatnot. You always seem to let everybody else talk too. So I don't know where he.
And I may interrupt. My bad. Sue me.
Yes, but I'm
working on it.
Yeah, I feel like we watching two different shows because I hardly see that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But I also heard something else that he said or whatnot. He was like, if you do drugs or whatnot, you don't go to heaven or whatnot. So I was thinking or whatnot. That's what Mark was saying, and I was thinking or whatnot. If I was smoking, so all right, so say you in the car and I'm in the car and I'm smoking a joint. I'm riding to the store or whatnot, and I crash my car or whatnot, and I'm like I flip my car over and I'm hanging out the car or whatnot, and as the car is crashing and it rolls, I flip out the car and I'm like as I'm breathing or what I'm like, or when I die or whatnot, I'm like, hey God. I just quit smoking like 30 minutes ago. You see what I'm saying? So when you die, you can basically tell God like, "Hey man, hold up! I just stopped smoking 30 minutes ago, so I wasn't smoking weed."
Hold on, hold on. Let's talk about it. Let me make a case here, sir. It's been 30 minutes.
Yeah. Let me.
No. The THC is still dissolved in your fat cells, son. You're going down. No. You know, I just don't even think about God like that. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, I just put the blunt down 5 minutes ago or whatnot. God, I been gave up smoking. Like, man, I'm just saying, like, it did. I think Mark is a little non-logical, and I don't think he understand how God works or whatnot. You know, meaning that that might be something bad, but I don't think he's gonna overlook all the good deeds that you have done. Everything is gonna be put into one bunch, and I'm pretty sure
I want to speak on
crack.
that. Yeah, that's good. In a moment, I want to speak on that. Real quick though, thoughts. Did you think? Thoughts on like? Did you appreciate though Mark's desire to want to be sober minded and his want to, I guess, exemplify that for others?
Well, no, he's good on the. So we cool on the sober mind. I respect that 100%. Like I can't knock him on that.
Yeah.
I agree with him on having a sober mind or whatnot. Definitely, it's too many addictions that people have out here or whatnot already as it is, and not having a sober mind is a bad thing. But go ahead, I'm listening.
The funny thing, you bring this up because I've heard this as a criticism on Christians too, which is like. You hear this maybe growing up or whatever. It's like, okay, Christians, okay, you guys are like saved and all that, but help me understand. Let's say I was like a killer or a rapist till the very end, but the last second on the deathbed, I say, I accept Jesus as my whole heart and Savior. Will I be saved? And that's the one that I've heard different answers. Christians, I think I've heard Christians say all kinds of things in response to that, but it's kind of in that ballpark. No, what you're kind of bringing up. It's 30 minutes ago. Hey, I'm not smoking right now. Am I cool? I think that whole thing though, it reveals, in my opinion, people's kind of shallow thinking about God. It's like this. How do I put this? As if he's like a person. I don't know how to put this because I'm not saying he's not a person, but it's like how you talk to me right now. You're talking to another person. That's like that's religion to people. Like if I just say this and I eat this bread and do this ritual. God will I will literally meet him and he will have a list of things and I can't even fathom that any of that is how spirituality or God works.
He is going to judge you or whatnot, but
like you're going to meet him, he's going to have a list of, like, how do you know all that? Like I think when I think about living a godly life and stuff like that, I think about right now, this very moment. When I think about being in heaven, how God is judging you, I don't think about it's all going to happen one day. I think it's like right now. I think it's happening all the time. I think his so-called judgment, and I say so-called because I don't know, I just don't see him as like a person looking at me and thinking, good, nope, bad, that's good. No, I think his judgment is, this is my opinion, it's like a constant thing, and it's like the very moment itself is constantly it's constantly being updated in a sense. It's like it's not like a ritual. It's not like a thing that's going to happen. I think you can know how God is judging you, like right now. I think you can know. This is my opinion. I think that's just like makes more sense to me than, there will be a list one day and I'll be in some pearly gates and then he'll be looking through. Like, no, I think you can know if you knew yourself. And this is just something I think. If you knew yourself, I think you could know how God feels about you right now, if you're in heaven or hell right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Heck yeah. I mean, and then you could listen and even if you around people with low vibrations or ain't connected or know Father God or whatnot, and you can see the dysfunction in them or whatnot. So it's a spiritual and a flesh war. You see what I'm saying? And just like I was saying, as far as with the drugs or whatnot, you can be following the commandments and all of that or whatnot, and your whole life doing right. But just because you mean to tell me, just because you smoking or doing drugs or whatnot, that's going to keep you out. No, that ain't how that works or whatnot. You know what I mean? And truth be told, that's where a lot of this moral come from in our society, is that people don't follow the commandments, and that's where you get this trend. And a lot of this immoral stuff that they do try to push is because they don't follow the Bible, and they're going to be judged on that. Because you got to remember that when you're doing a lot of these things or whatnot, and what you say out your mouth, you might be influencing people to worship or think that God ain't real and into pushing them into darkness and worshiping the devil. Because if you ain't worshiping God, you worshiping the devil.
Man, I can agree with a lot of that. Listen, let me ask you one thing. In your opinion, someone that's doing drugs, in your opinion, are they in heaven or are they in hell? Most likely,
they in the fallen state.
Right, and
so
with
yep. And we on earth, we in hell. We in the form of hell.
Yeah.
We just got to make the best. We just got to make the best of why we down here. But yeah,
I so agree with you. I would say that person too is in a fallen state, is in darkness. But I would also agree with like the earlier thing you were saying. I wouldn't even say it's the drugs. It's so to speak, you know. But they are in hell and they're using that, and it makes total sense that they'd be using that because that's what people in hell do.
Yeah, and they're using it as a form to cope to. Using this as an example, it's called getting high.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? To basically what they say, weed smoker with not. Oh, my phone bill, dude. I'm 6 months behind. Damn, they gonna cut my phone off or whatnot. You like, all right, I'll just get high. It just makes
spark
you like,
it up.
Yeah, F it up. Forget it. I ain't. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
It's a way to relieve yourself from that form of hell. And even in that fallen state, there's some people smoke and do drugs because of stuff that happened as when they was a kid that still have an effect on them as they older, and they need a way to hold that pain or whatnot. And that's the smoking in or doing drugs is a way to hold that pain or whatnot. So yeah, the earth is the fallen state, or earth is a form of hell, and we just here in our vessel until he comes back to get us or whatnot. And then when you get to the other realm that you can't do, that's gonna be your real, your heavenly form body. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Meaning your spirit is gonna be in heaven, and that's gonna be your real body where you don't have to smoke drugs to get away from pain, because there ain't gonna be no pain in heaven. You see what I'm saying? We just on this earth and in this realm or whatnot.
Are you saying there's no overcoming that on this earth? Then is that what you're saying?
You can overcome it. You can make the best of earth or whatnot. You know, it's some people that got heaven on earth as we speak right now. And, you know, just because somebody got a nice house or they rich don't mean that they happy. Money don't make you happy. And being poor don't make you happy or sad. Or being rich don't make you happy or sad. It's you, the individual.
And I agree with a lot of how you put that. I don't know if this makes me an atheist or a non-Christian, right? It depends on who you ask. But I think to myself sometimes, I don't know if I conclude this, but I think about other worlds so little that I basically operate and believe that this is all we have. You know, I know that Bible's in heaven and all that, but the way I operate and I believe that this is all we got, that this is all we have as far as
you saying. So you think Earth is the last realm?
Well, not that, but as far as we know and can operate, it's like this is all we have, and so I don't want to bet on
when you get to heaven.
Right.
Got you. Well, it ain't really that you bet. It tells you in the Bible or whatnot, or something like that, how heaven is going to be. But I look it up before I try to get more into it.
Yeah, this is.
It tells you stuff to where you can get an idea of if some of the stuff that I'm saying is correct or whatnot.
If you do come across it, man, call me back. I'd like to speak on it. I'd like to chat about it.
All right. Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dang, man, it was something else I was gonna ask you or tell you, but damn, Nick, you made me dang near. Oh, they was talking about the Iran thing. So bam, so I keep hearing people saying that we at war with Iran and this and this and this and that. Well, last time I checked, didn't that dude Abala or whoever his name is, didn't he threaten Trump? I think he threatened him when he got in office this 2020 or whatnot.
Okay,
or 2000.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if was it the Ayatollah, like he came out with like he said it, like there's that might be true. Yeah. I'm not familiar with that. I just remember Trump coming out and saying something up to the effect that, you know, there's evidence or intelligence that you know the Iranians want to get to Trump somehow, even far away, right? Like assassination and stuff like that.
I could tell you when he did it. It was just before that incident that happened where dude shot at Trump or whatnot and nipped his ear. It was just before. It might have been like maybe 3 to 6 months before that. It was around in that time when he said that or whatnot. Because you got to remember, people were speculating that Iran, they had to rule out if Iran had to do something with that right there too.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Well, thanks for that.
I'm just saying. So think about this. We're part of the game. Do they think that we just gonna be letting people third worlders threaten us? You know what I mean, or whatnot?
Right.
You know, so whether it's about the fentanyl or them using Iran, China to move fentanyl through the oil tankers and any of that, the point is you threaten American president. And what I also noticed or whatnot, that what the Democrats do is they let people use us. You see what I'm saying? And they scam us and line their money over to these GMOs, non-government organizations or whatnot. And then when they send them over to all these little different little places over there, they line the money back to America, but they do it to hide them funding. They do it like that to hide because that's how they fund the Democratic Party or whatnot. But what I'm saying is Democrats are cool with letting everybody take advantage of us and it benefits them or whatnot. And Republicans are basically saying, hold up, nah, we ain't letting nobody take from us. If anybody's going to be doing some taking, it's going to be us with the Republicans, the conservatives, the real Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? We not into letting people take stuff from us. See, the Mama Spirit and the Democrat Party, they cool with doing that as long as you give them some little money up under the table or what. They cool with selling America, but the conservatives or whatnot, we ain't into that. If anybody gonna be doing any taking, it's gonna be us doing the taking. Just like President Trump said, if we want to go land our planes in Spain, we go land our planes in front of your in front of your mama's house. We'd pull it up with the rims on the F-35 fighter jet. We had the 100-spoke rims on there with the spinners, loud music banging out the back of the where the jet propulsion things is. We had pulled off through Spain, and ain't Spain gonna do nothing about it.
That is like the funniest image. That is the funniest image. Like, yeah, like that would be so. That's something so funny about that. Like, how do we be American in your country and in your face? And I like that it's it's a little bit black too. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, but hold up.
The
Nick,
spokes, I love it.
Yeah, we got the F-35 flying in the air right now playing the Tupac music while it's nighttime over there. They all night long, they playing music all through Spain in the F-35 fighter jets or whatnot.
Wait, what'd you say, Spain? Huh? I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Yeah, can't even hear you. Hey, we pulling up on every street, every dirt road. They hopping out, hollering at they females, hopping in the F. What is Spain gonna do to America? That's what conservatives do. If you want to play with us, we gonna let what's that dude's name from with Elon Musk, Big Balls? We gonna let our name hang.
Yeah, let him hang. All right, sir. I appreciate it.
You got it. I'll catch you later.
Call me again, sir. 888-775-3773. Yeah, you know what? You don't have to look very far, apparently. Wikipedia. This is Mint. Reddit. 2023, Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander Amir Ali Hazadeh publicly said Iran wanted to kill Donald Trump and Mike Pompeo after the U.S. killed Qasem Soleimani. That's just politics, right? If I'm going to play devil's avocado here, that's just politics. They just got to be tough. They're not maniacs ready to kill. You know, they're being pushed into this. I don't know. In 2025, Grand Ayatollah Nasser Makram Shirazi, senior Shia cleric, issued a religious decree, a fatwa, declaring all threats against the supreme leader as enemies of God, and they could face execution. Some media interpreted this as framing Trump and the U.S. Okay. But Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, blessings be upon his name, rest in peace. No, the dead Ayatollah, the dead one, not the new one, but the dead one, was not directly documented as having personally issued any threats to Trump, at least according to AP News. But yes, that's about the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, blessings be upon his name. What would you say? What's the Muslim thing to say? I want to know. Have you guys seen this stuff? It's really grinding my gears. And obviously, I'm the controlled dummy public that this worked on to elicit a response, which is exactly what they wanted. But I find this, I find this interesting because this should be almost cut and dry, in my opinion. This should be like, okay, this is content farming. This guy filming is clearly an arse, and we're moving on. But the reason it's interesting is because it's not clear and cut and dry for the public. The comments are split, and I find that fascinating. Maybe you're familiar with this content. Kind of been around, but it's going around more now, and now I'm familiar with it. I may have even mentioned it before, but I can't remember. They call it First Amendment auditing. And you got to see how ridiculous this is and how ridiculous the public is. These people go around with their cameras, and they just start filming people. They'll film him knowing that they're going to get someone asking them why they're doing that. They will then proceed to be very combative and not a human, not a person, just talking to a person like, okay, I get how the law is. I get what the law is and the letter of the law and the specifics and the technicalities. Okay. But can you be a person? Can you be a brother, a citizen here? It's like, not try and get me on a technicality. I'm trying to run a business here. So what these people do is they start filming, waiting for someone to ask them to stop so that they could be obstinate and say, it's my right. And then when they ask them why they're doing this, they tell them, it's my job. I'm a First Amendment auditor. My job is to stress test the First Amendment and see how far it really goes and how far our rights really go. And so it's presented as like a noble pursuit for the rights of the public. I'll let you decide. There might be a little cussing. I forget. I do apologize. Might be later. I think it's just a tiny bit. Check it out.
What's going on?
How can I help you?
How can I help you?
I don't know. You're videotaping my customers.
Yeah.
How can I help you? Why are you videotaping?
What do you mean?
This was real popular in 2016, Nick. Oh, I must have missed it.
Videotaping.
I've seen a lot of them. This is. I'm catching the third wave or something.
Everybody coming in and out of here.
Why are you raising your voice at me? First of all.
Because I'm asking you a question. You're answering me with a question.
Right. So I'm just standing here on the sidewalk. Do you think you're entitled to answers? You just come up and demand what I'm doing? Demand to know what I'm doing?
I want to know because my customers are asking me why they're being videotaped.
Okay. Was it just my camera they're worried about, or like the 40 cameras that are over there and like the 10 on the outside?
That's for security purposes.
Really?
Yes. So can I ask you why are you videotaping?
This guy's a douche.
Sure, you can
Because
ask
we're
me
calling
whatever
the police
you feel
right
like.
now as we speak.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, the police are coming down.
Oh. What do you think they're going to do?
Are you being a smart, what's going on? Why are you videotaping?
Well, I mean, maybe if you came up more cordial, I would have been willing to have a conversation with you.
I just asked you, why are you videotaping my customers?
Well,
he came up somewhat cordial. I mean,
how can I help you?
And he's like laughing, and he's like, he's like on a technicality. This guy's just seeing it just very simple. It's like, okay, I got a business. Why is he doing this? It could be weird. It could be nothing. Nobody expects, unless you've been watching this content, I guess. Nobody expects. It's like somebody's just filming your customers, filming them all. Nobody just sits there and thinks, well, that's their First Amendment right in there. Let me think. They're on the sidewalk, and, well, I guess there's nothing to do here. Like, nobody thinks like that. And so they know how people are going to act, and they're just going to get views and clicks, and they're going to bill it as a noble pursuit. It's ridiculous. And I guess this has been going on, but it's popular. What do you think? What do you guys think? Could this guy in the red, despite knowing all this that we're seeing, and you're like, okay, come on, could he have done something different? What do you think?
Are you being a smart, what's going on? Why are you videotaping?
He's shocked.
Well, I mean, maybe if you came up more cordial, I would have been willing to have a conversation with you.
I just asked you, why are you videotaping my customers?
Well, you asked, how can I help you?
Yeah, how can I help you? Because obviously you're standing here videotaping. We didn't ask you to come videotape.
Right. So if you're actually willing to help, like a bottle of water would be fantastic or something like that.
Why would I offer you a bottle of water? I don't know who you are.
Ask me if I wanted help, right?
Yes, why are you videotaping?
Maybe if you had just started with that instead of how can I help you, the facetious how can I
was
help
trying to
you?
be nice and be how can I help you? Because obviously there's something
Well, I don't need any help. I'm all good.
All right, so why are you videotaping my customers?
I'm not really inclined to get into it anymore with you.
Okay,
Sorry.
so the police are coming.
All right, sounds good, my friend.
And the cops rarely do stuff about it.
You take it easy.
And because they are, and sometimes they are like, it's like they're right. The cops will tell them, hey, can you leave though? Like, be like, what's the law though? What's the law? And then they start being total douches to the officers too. For views and clicks. Okay, so that's clear. You guys get that. This content's been going around. But I'm like shocked at the comments. I'm shocked that today, with this content apparently been going on for years, that people are literally in the comments saying, just because you have the right to do, they're saying some of you people who claim to support freedom and liberties get pretty angry when someone exercises their rights in a way you don't like. And I'm like, what? Like half of these comments are like this. Yes, that guy should just like walk away. The guy in the red shirt. All people should just walk away from this content, right? Turn away from it. No reaction. That's all they're trying to do. Get a reaction. So that's clear. But yeah, I didn't know the public was this. I guess I should have known. But man, the public is how that like that guru said, and a guru said it, so I'm allowed to. The people are retarded. Okay. Like this is a debate. This is a debate, rising the view count of this video ever higher because it's like a real debate in people's minds. I don't know. This guy was in his right, and I thought you guys cared about the First Amendment. This guy's being a douche. Be normal. Okay. Anyways. Sorry. Obviously, I'm the dummy. Grinded my gears. Eliciting a response. What a mess. Hey, I don't understand that. I don't understand what kind of question that is from this line 5. Maybe you want to ask him what the heck he means. We got Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. How you doing, sir? Appreciate your call. Rick, Hampton, Virginia.
What's up there, Nick? What's going on with you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine, and you?
All is well, man. We just need you closer to your phone, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me good?
I think so. Go ahead.
Hey, so we was videotaping. You was just doing like a what's that? What do you call that? You know, just in the neighborhood, just interviewing different people.
It's so noisy, Rick. Could you do a little bit better?
Oh, I'm sorry. What I said? Were you interviewing a customer? Just have an interview with them. Can you hear me?
You talking about the video I just played?
Yeah.
Yeah, those people, they're going to establishments and different people, and they just start filming, knowing that it would cause a confrontation, but their whole purpose is to basically make some point that they're allowed to. You know, it's their right to film in public and whatever. And so they go around testing the First Amendment, but really all they're doing is trying to get clicks, get negative reactions, and get attention online.
Now that, so, you know, like, let's say, like, here's a lot. I want to question that. A lot of blacks do this. Like, for example, let's say, like, a black person getting a confrontation with a white person. They always film the white person, but the black person, you never see who they are. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna put me on video, you should be in that video too. Wouldn't you agree?
Fair enough.
You know, I mean, like, you gonna videotape me, you should be in the video as well. Because it could be a misunderstanding, and you got me on the video, and you got everybody hating me, and no one ever seen who you were.
That's why you see sometimes in these videos, when they start getting videotaped, the person getting videotaped will bust out their phone and start videotaping back. Call it a modern thing, you know. You look both ways to cross the street. You say "Thank you, sir" to the officer, and you take out your phone when someone starts recording you. That's how you live in the modern era.
That's a good idea, brother Nick. Good idea, because like I said, a lot of blacks tend to do that when they get in a conversation with a white person. Oh, you racist, and they never show themselves, but they just constantly following the white person, taping them. And The white person never gets his phone and started taping back. That way they can see who she is.
Yeah.
And the lady made a mistake and it was a misunderstanding, and she had taped and said all these bad things about the white lady, and the white lady never had a chance, to show who that other person was that made the mistake. You see what I mean? So that's
Fair
a good
enough.
idea, man. As soon as somebody started doing that, start taping. But I also want to let you know that race horses Al Green and Jasmine Crooked, they both lost. I've seen a report that they both lost.
Oh, I'm definitely familiar with Jasmine Crockett.
Yes, sir.
Crockett. Yeah, Al Green, the guy with the sign, right? Blacks are not apes.
Yeah. Yep. Then like I said before, most black policies are used for destruction. They never make any good policies, economic policies, national security policies. I mean, have you noticed that?
Yeah, I definitely have noticed that.
They never make any
devoid of
policy
reality.
that's going to help. Exactly. They don't make any policies that's for the economy. They don't make no laws for national security. All thing they make laws for is racist laws and laws to protect the alphabet group and stuff like that. That's foolishness. Like I said, they're used for destruction. Most of them.
Yeah, pure foolishness. This Al Green and Jasmine losing like that is interesting because, we're basically in the midterms now. And, we're basically in the midterms, and I think this is a sort of sign. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is this is a bit of a bellwether for me. I know that Jasmine was running in Texas, and she left her seat to make a bigger splash in Congress, and there's this general notion of demographic change and other things that have been turning red states purple and blue, and there's this there was this prevailing, I don't know, I call it a prevailing theory or notion or rumbling of what these midterms are going to look like. And that is, well, on top of that, throw on top of that some of the right wing and their issues with Iran and they're unhappy with Israel, et cetera. So throw that all together. There's this general impression the midterms are maybe either going to go bad or they should go bad. But I don't know. I mean, look, Al Green and Jasmine, I feel like this racism, you just got to vote for them. It seems like it didn't win. It seems like it didn't win. And all I'm saying is that this is maybe a bellwether of further Trump domination. So it was what I'm saying. And some like that and some don't. But I think that's what it is.
Too, and it lets you know that, like I said, most black, now the mayor in Baltimore, he's in trouble. He's up there overspending. Most, I don't know why, but blacks and people of color, I can even say Hispanics as well, they are attracted to socialism for some reason. I don't know why, man. It's they're just so attracted to socialism. They get in there and enrich themselves, don't do anything at all for the community, and they just in there mostly because of skin color.
They have to. It makes total sense, actually. They have to go with socialism because they have to. It's the answer. It's the answer to the crime in their mind. They don't even have to call it socialism. They just simply have to agree with something was taken. They have to believe some false story that they don't have something because someone else has it. The white man has it. And so what do you got to do? You got to take it back, essentially. And that's what socialism is, right? So they in a sense, you don't have to take it that far. You don't have to even think about socialism, but spiritually or whatever, intellectually, they are totally aligned with socialism. That's the only answer to this crime, this original sin of America and slavery and racism and all that.
I love capitalism, Brother Nick, because capitalism allows you to be what you want to be. If you want to be poor, you can be poor. You want to be comfortable, you can be comfortable. You want to be wealthy, you can be wealthy. But socialism don't allow you to do that because the government sets the prices on everything.
True.
For example, in Cuba, if they go to school to be a doctor now,
a little closer to your phone, Rick.
Education. Okay.
Just a little, just for the last few minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like in Cuba, them people go to school to be doctors and dentists down there. The government pays for their education, but however, the government turns around and tells them how much they can charge, and they'll tell you you're not going to charge more than this, and that's it. So that's why they leave the country.
Yeah. True.
You know, it just socialism just don't work, man. I wouldn't want to go to no country that has socialism.
Yeah.
That's just me. I wouldn't want to go. You know, it just I like capitalism. I really do. I like countries that are capitalist. Yes,
Fair enough.
Europe, Australia,
I agree,
Japan.
The finest, freest nations, at least at one point.
Yes, sir.
Rick, man, I appreciate you. Please, go ahead.
No problem. Okay, Nick. Yeah, I would want to be in, and you know, the midterms, Nick, I just say, I won't believe it till I see it. For some reason, man, people still vote for these Democrats, man. It's something they like about them. I don't know. I guess they like stuff. They think the college education may be paid for. I don't know, but they're
competitive. They're crazy to us. Yeah, they don't make any sense. They hate America and all that, but they're politically competitive. You know, when the economy goes one way, they say, "What about affordability?" That's why we'll come in, right? It's politics. It's like,
and they raise taxes.
It's strategy. It's called competitiveness, and yeah, they're crazy and all that, but they're competitive, right? Trump moves this way, they're like, we'll move this way.
You know too, Nick. Anyway, you see a black man, in most cases, a black man in any major city, you better best believe that the taxes are going to be high. Taxes are going to be high whenever you have a black male. And that's a fact, man. I mean, anytime you go to any city ran by black, the taxes are going to be off the roof. And they see that, and they still vote for these people. I don't get it, man.
Well, they don't pay taxes. Not everybody, not all those people I think are paying taxes.
Well, of course you don't.
Like sure, like maybe sales tax and stuff like that, but not any significant.
Oh yeah, the property tax would be how. That's why they are fussing in Chicago, man. Their taxes are high.
Yeah. I don't think like business owners and homeowners are the people you're talking about. You know what I mean? Rick, can you call me again, sir?
Yes, sir, brother Nick. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you. Take care.
Yes, sir. Love you. Be blessed.
888-775-3773. Yep. Let's see. What are y'all saying? In the last bit of the show, thank you for your super chats. Amazing. Did I read these? I don't know if I got to these. Harmony. Thank you for that. Some union dues from Harmony and also a comment here. Little super chat says, Arab world is split between Shia and Sunni Muslims. Trump's working with the Sunnis, the Saudis, to help them prosper and have good relations with the West. The Shias, or the Shias, Iran, are the jihadis against the U.S. and the West. My 2 cents. Thanks, Harmony. Angban Art with the super chat says, Zionism, the belief that Jews are allowed a state. There were some questions yesterday and all that on how to define that. What's the definition? Spoke about it, I think, with a few people. Yeah, but thank you for your super chat, Angban Art. Thanks for the coffees, someone. Appreciate that. And all the support over there on Rumble. How you doing, Jules, buddy? How you doing, people? Nice. Let's see. Amazing super chats. Amazing coffees. What can I say? I mean, well, I want to get to... Man, there's all this fraud going on. Tim Walz is getting grilled. He's getting absolutely grilled. It's kind of delicious, I got to say. I know that's like ridiculous sometimes, but some of these are some delicious moments. Nancy Mace, on her, she's still on it. This is ridiculous. Republicans, get rid of her. Get rid of her. And I guess that's not how politics works. I guess maybe she was voted in. I forget. She's a representative, right? But she's an issue. She's got to go. Tim Waltz getting grilled. He's getting kind of grilled. I got to say some of the stuff I saw about this fraud. Nancy Mace, she's like, yes, this is very important. And we're going to talk about now, okay, we were talking about Epstein, we're talking about the Clintons. Okay, what are we doing today? I'm Nancy Mace. Okay, Waltz, fraud. Okay, let's go. Give me the mic.
What is a woman?
What is a woman? Shouldn't have given her the mic. It's fraud. Actually, no, it's about men again. Actually, no, it's about she literally cannot help herself. This woman is insane. She literally cannot help herself. Now it's a totally different thing. Now it's about Tim Waltz and fraud. And no, it's still about her man hate. This Nancy Mace woman, she literally cannot help herself. It's a totally different case. And what's the first thing out of her mouth? Man hatred. You might be thinking, oh, Nick, what are you talking about? She's like, what is a woman?
What is a woman?
Oh, my God.
Have you learned that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
Her attitude. Have you learned that one? We should know this one by now, class. We all know what women are, right? Not trans.
Learn that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
I'm the governor of Minnesota, Congressman.
You know what a
I'm
woman
not here to be your prop or your obsession.
So
I
if you
taught
can't
middle school,
define
your
what
obsession.
a woman is, you certainly can't define what fraud is.
Oh, God. Well, she's bringing it home. It was, in fact, about... No, it's not. She's literally rabid. She can't help herself. And she's bringing it back to fraud. She's like, I know how... No, it makes sense in her mind. She's like, if you don't know what a woman is, then how are you going to know about fraud? Like, that made sense in her mind. She thought that was smart. But what it's really happening is she's rabid. She literally can't help it. All day she's talking about how she's a survivor, a victim. I got raped. Anytime she's on this Congress and oversight committee, she's like, I'm a victim. I'm a survivor. I got raped. Listen to me. Did you get raped? You did fraud. She can't help herself. She has to bring up the whole trans debate about men and women. And here's the thing about people like Nancy Mace. They're not on the side of normal and happy and free. No, they're feminists and they hate men. They hate men for trying to be women. They hate men for daring to sully what a woman is and pretend like it's mere clothes and mere this and mere that. That's what men do. And attempting to infiltrate their spaces. That's what men do. They're violators. A lot of these TERFs, maybe even initially, you may have seen them be maybe even like, you know what, let's hook hands, conservative America, Christians maybe. This stuff is insane. But a lot of those women have become quite nasty because they get resentful. They have plenty of criticisms with the people that they are supposedly teaming up with, and eventually it just spills over. They're like, you know what, no. Yeah, these are terrorists. Men are terrorists trying to take away our womanhood. And this woman can't even help herself. They're trying to do a thing about fraud with Tim Waltz. She's insane and hates men so much that she cannot help it. Everywhere she goes, she has to talk about it.
Here to be your prop or your obsession.
So
I
if you
taught
can't
middle school,
define
your
what
obsession.
a woman is, you certainly can't define what fraud is. If you can't even define what a woman is, you can't define fraud.
Get rid of her, Republicans. This is a mess. Yeah, you don't know what a woman is? Like there was way better. Like that's not a smoking gun. That's slop. Like you could do better than that. You could do better than that. Trying to figure out fraud and like deposing the guy and asking questions and trying to get information. I think you could do better than that. So what else? I want to get to my calls, 888-775-3773. I don't think we have time for all this fraud. We'll leave it for tomorrow. Tim Waltz getting grilled. I think it's happened. I think it was happening when I started, so we'll probably get the whole story afterwards. So we'll leave it for tomorrow. How about we get to Ross out of New Jersey, I think. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
Good. How you doing, Anchor Baby?
A pleasure. All is well.
You remember me?
Big time.
You do?
Of course.
What did I call you last time I talked to you?
I think it was about... It may have been about working in nature. It may have been about... It may have been about that. somewhat. It was maybe about a number of things, but I feel like that came up briefly.
Remember you were a tube?
Yeah, that's coming back to me. I was like, what are you talking about? But then you kind of brought it.
The meaning?
I got to say, maybe not entirely. But if I remember correctly, you were making connections. And I was like, okay, I'm hearing his rationale out. It's not totally insane. The tube has a meaning. I
call the tube. Let me change the name of the tube to what do they call a tube that you fill up with something?
A receptacle, a cylindrical, a cup.
Well, it's basically a cup or the test tube, right?
Okay, yeah, a test tube.
So if we're each a test tube and we're born and we're brought into a world, and unless we all live the same life, we're all going to have different lives, right?
I think so. Even if just a little bit, it would be different, I guess.
Correct. So each test tube is yours to fill up until you get to a certain point where you feel like you have enough information in that test tube to go out and start a life, maybe with a woman or with someone else, and you want to leave your family. So that's like your first step out of your home after you lived there growing up until you graduated school or whenever you choose to leave. For whatever your problem is in life, you choose to step out of your first home into a world that you have to learn how to balance. So you start to fill up your test tube, and then when you get to a point that you feel confident enough, which I've been watching you for a while, you're getting really good at your job.
Thank you, sir.
And being able to, I think the problem is you got to learn how to bring things down and slow things down. So when you get to a point where you're comfortable enough, what's that?
People have said this. I'm listening.
So when you get to a point where you're comfortable enough to go outside and maybe start a life, what you do is you take your information and sort of put it like into a tree and you plant that into the ground. So that's a memory that you have to show for where you started and you start to grow. And that's sort of how a family is or a life if you think about it. But what we've forgotten is because we've become such transplants moving throughout the world and our only anchor to the world is a phone or a piece of technology, we've gone from the outside people at one time living and surviving in the nature, and we've gone to the inside people where 90% of the people are now living indoors, making a living, so they don't have to suffer on the outside. And I think that's the wildest thing in the world, how much we've shifted from inside or outside to inside, and we can't figure out why. We are having problems arguing with who's the boss.
Interesting. So this hamster cage life is like driving us nuts, being inside and all this stuff?
Well, if you think about it, like when I was a kid, basically our parents looked for any excuse to get us out of the house so we could go outside and play because the mom wanted to clean up, make it nice. It was like a different time. It was like a Beaver Cleaver. Have you ever seen that show?
No, I've heard it. I've heard this referenced, but no.
Yeah, they everything was prim and proper, and we started getting educated by TV. And now the weird thing is people are carrying.
Did parents
TVs
just want kids out, or did they want them learning, or was it a mixture of things? I mean, it's probably all those things.
Everything was perfect. They had two kids in school. The one was in the athletic program. The other boy was like a book learner. Mm-hmm. They were both broken down as brothers, and they both seemed to work real well together with the father and the mother. Then they had the aunts come over and sister-in-laws or whoever. It was all like watching TV, and it taught people like in the 50s and 60s what you were supposed to do to raise that, I guess, Jones's family, you would call it. So we've been getting taught by TV and stuff like that for a long time. And what we've done is we've brought that world from inside the house to TV with the cell phone to the outside. And we started copying the people outside, looking at them through the TV that we have inside, thinking that they don't have emotions or feelings or pain or anything else. Because people that are living outside making their living are suffering a lot more than the people inside.
You think so?
A lot of them, I think they are. unless they have some type of organization that's helping them. Because doing physical work outside, a lot of people suffer from that because we're just not in the physical shape that we used to be when we used to be like travelers, you know, when we used to pick up our tent and go wherever when we were in the Indian stage. It's a lot easier life. It's more convenient and it's more, you know, prepared for us today. And we basically come into it and become a soldier and go out and work and then get paid and live in our houses.
It does seem, life seems different because I grew up different, right? The whole world was in my bedroom. I could go anywhere on the internet, Mom. I don't know. It's just we played outside, but I lived in one building, and there was a little playground outside. I went out with my cousin. It was just like right outside. But that was because there was a bunch of kids in this apartment complex, and we could go outside and play, but that didn't last. I mean, when we lived in houses, going outside to play, what, in the street? What to do with what? With where anything can happen? Where there's criminals? No, I don't know. It didn't even cross our minds. Like, we'd go out and skateboard maybe, but going out to play daily, like, I don't know, it didn't even cross, like, no, it was not a thing. It was, we were told never to go far. It's dangerous.
Wow.
But we played outside. Ross, man, I appreciate your call. I'm going to have to percolate on some of the things you said as they settle. You know, it's some of the languages, call it allegorical and metaphorical, and it is like mentally stimulating. So I mean, some things I'm thinking on. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it too. Thank you for letting me talk.
Call me again, Ross.
I will.
Ooh, sorry about that, sir. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the test tube. I don't know. It's one of those things that if you just like speak on, you would probably endlessly speak on like vague things. Like, but I was thinking about the test tube a bit. Are we a test tube? Are we a collection? Are we a collection of information, events, things? I don't know. Are we a collection of things? I feel like maybe we're more like an antenna, more like or a window, you know? Maybe there's a receptacle of sorts, a collection. I don't know. I feel like maybe we're more like an antenna. If we're talking about this stuff, right? Let me throw my 2 cents in on this. In this world we entered. You know, we're different things work through us. I don't know. Look, thanks, Ross. Appreciate everybody. We're at the end of the show. We got mere minutes, and I appreciate your super chats, your calls. We done did the topics. We done did it all. We got Punchy TV coming up in an hour. Don't miss it. Punchy.tv. Punchy TV on YouTube. With the boys, we got a little thing going on. All right. But for now, I will go. I'll see you guys in an hour. I'll also see you tomorrow for Bible Thumper Thursday, the Hake Report, and more American Anchor Baby. See you in a bit. Right? Take care. Peace. Oh, little Nick too, he's got to say bye. Bye.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.